Hello there, my name is Sammy and welcome back to my Stream Theory playthrough of Assassin's Creed 4, where I will be playing the game live while also providing analysis and commentary as I go. Alright, so if I am to believe, all the signs of the game and the storytelling, we should finally be approaching the end of the game. And actually thought I would be getting to the end much sooner, but definitely ended up being longer than I expected. Thought that observatory mission would be like the final ramp up to the end there, but I guess it's just leading up to another climactic moment, but I'm pretty sure we are going to get to the end pretty darn soon. So, I'm not sure how much is left, but whatever is left, I am going to just try and play straight through, and however long it takes, I will just keep playing until I see the credits. So, there are a few little odds and ends that I want to finish up here. There was that one area, there was actually the island with the observatory mission that want to finish up that island, and then there's also the matter of the Mayans delays. There's also the conclusion to that left. Right, so here is the Long Bay was the area where we did that observatory mission, and because I was doing the mission, I didn't take the time to collect every possible thing here. So I'll start heading that way. Actually, I should probably mark it on my map. And I guess I will head over. I guess it really doesn't matter which way I go. It's going to be a long way. So it's because I am still doing the exploration, I'm going to continue to follow my rules on that is to sail there as normal. Just to keep up with, keep up the pacing that I prefer. Explore in an open world type of game like Assassin's Creed. We have this wide open world. I want to make sure I explore as much as possible, and I don't want to rely on that fast travel when I feel like I am still in that exploration mode. Now you saw on certain occasions I do use fast travel, like when I was going after the legendary ships. It didn't make sense to sail all the way to all four corners of the map there. So I made a few exceptions for that, but as long as it's reasonable and I am exploring, finishing up, doing collectibles and completing my map, I think it just makes sense for me to explore the game as normal. I don't usually use this fast travel, not fast travel, the what do they call it here? Call it travel speed mode. I don't usually use that, but in this case I'll use it to see this cinematic view, I suppose. Very wide, long shot of the action here. I don't really prefer to use it just because I like being in the shoes of Kenway as close as possible to his perspective. So I like this view a lot more, so that's why you haven't seen me use that travel speed as much as possible. So I suppose many of my complaints about how slow the traveling is would be slightly abated if I would use that travel speed. I don't know, it's just a matter of convenience versus immersion, I guess, and I leaned towards immersion for this game, for most of the experience up until now. Okay, so am I getting close here? Yeah, this island is pretty big, but should be getting close enough. I'm all set in terms of upgrades. I think there are actually a few more upgrades I could get, but they're largely irrelevant to what I need to do. All the really good stuff has been upgraded. The cannons, the elite shot, the mortars, There are just a few minor things that I could upgrade. It's not necessary though. Alright, so I believe that'll be my fort, or my allied fort, because we're getting close to the island here. So, yeah, my goals for this episode is just to go straight to the end, finish up that area there, Long Bay, and I guess I also want to finish up the Mayan Delays, which happens to be in the same area as the next mission anyway. It is back in that assassin stronghold, which we haven't been to since we've been there, just because I guess the main mission and storyline has not taken us back there, so I've had no reason to go there. I did all my exploration and collectibles, got all the collectibles there, you know, as soon as I was there in the first place, so I had no reason to go back. Also, another... yeah, Long Bay. Another goal for this stream, for this final stream, is to act as a sort of conclusion when I get towards the end, right near the end, maybe during the credits like I did for the previous games that I've streamed, you know, done this sort of stream theory type of playthrough. I will provide a sort of rundown, maybe a final take, an informal review, I suppose, of the game so far, of the whole game, because that will be the end of the game. But it will largely be a retread of the thoughts that I've already outlined during the last several episodes. I mean, there's really not much more the game could do to really change my mind at this point. The ending, I guess the ending could make a difference, and I guess I could talk about endings in general, about how I feel they end up working for or against games. I think the ending is important in that it won't really change the mind of the player towards a positive direction, right? But it is entirely possible for a bad ending to change your perspective on a game negatively. So it's important to nail down the ending so that you don't negatively impact players' final thoughts on the game. You don't want to leave the area on a you don't want to leave the experience on a poor note, on a sour note. You don't want to leave that sour taste in players' mouths. So I guess, yeah, when I see the ending there, I'll comment on that and see if it is a worthy lead up. It is a satisfying end. It wraps up everything as I'd want it to. For the most part, I think, you know, I expect it to do well in that regard. I hope the ending will be nice and satisfying. Now, I think the how do I want to do this? They go through here, some stuff here. I think I have to get this chest by going along the shoreline here. So as I said before, the second half of the game has had much stronger story, and depending on the ending, I feel like, you know, it'll probably go in line with that strong second half in terms of story. So by comparison, the first half has been generally weak and underdeveloped. I think that has been causing a lot of consequences and ramifications for the game, you know, throughout, as it's been trying to pick up. That's been one of my main issues. That a lot of the climaxes we've seen, a lot of these very climactic moments, these apparently or alleged, apparently powerful scenes that are supposed to be powerful on paper, you know, dealing with character deaths and a lot of emotional issues with these characters, they are not very well earned, just because the first half has been underdeveloped. I feel like if the game developed a little bit more, then those climactic moments will be much better, will be earned, essentially. And they will have, those climactic moments will be the payoffs that they're supposed to be. As it stands, they have been largely falling flat, as I've said. I guess I'll cover that stuff, you know, in my conclusions at the end, but, you know, while I'm doing this exploration, I might as well, you know, start putting forth a lot of my concluding thoughts on the game. Don't have a lot of other things to say in the meantime. Alright, so what next? The path, it looks like the path leads here, here. I haven't been to this viewpoint yet. Let's see if I can get there. It's possible. I'm not sure how this all twists around. So this, I think this is the very last area of the game to explore. If I'm right. Not much else to do. Or this will be the final bit of exploration for the whole game. Let's... Oh, okay, so there's a dude shooting at me. Can I actually get here? I think I have to go around. It is around this way. Maybe? Or not. Let's see if I can actually... This leads anywhere. No, I think it must be... I have to go around this way and all the way around here. It's really strange. But if that's what I have to do, then that's what I have to do. I can see why I missed that one in the first place. Because it is fairly out of the way. I think the way is over here. Alright. What is that over there? Hope I'm not going in a circle here. Might be. Yeah, there's a path over here, right? I believe so. Remember it from the main. I have to just get this dude. This is for bothering me. Okay. So... Oh, he lost me already. There we go. I have to find the path. Path through here. Somewhere around here. Alright, well, one of the weird things about that little animation, is that it looks very much like Kenway's breaking the dude's neck, right? But I'm supposed to be unarmed. So I wonder why he goes so brutal in his actions. Oh, there's a crocodile there. Yeah, I'm just rushing through the area, trying to finish up the exploration here. Okay, so I think there's a path that way. I do have to go this way. Just so I don't have to be in a fight, I'll just take out this guy right now. Yeah, this is the correct way to go. This lantern here was an important marker. We're doing here? Probably not. Okay, so yeah, this looks like this area is split up into two different segments, and the other segment's over there. I do have to climb up. Not climb up, go through that cave, I suppose. Nothing else here, right? Oh yeah, there's this thing here. That's one thing I haven't got quite yet. Alright. Get this thing. And, let's see. The bottle over here. How do you get over here? Has to be around by going this way. Has to be by going that way. Right? That's the only thing I can think of. So, I'll head on over to the next part of the island. I hope it's going to lead there. Otherwise, I'll have to keep on figuring this out. Okay, there's a bottle that I missed here. Very close. Okay. Yeah, no problem. I will have to take out these dudes. Okay, so the bottle in here somewhere. Oh, I see where it could be. I just drop down. Here it is. So this will be like probably the very last letter in that whole series. Doubt there are going to be more. For all the letters completing that backstory, that little storyline told through the text diaries here. Yeah, number 20. And this will be the concluding part for that storyline about the... I think this was probably the previous generation sage, or maybe... Yeah, it's probably the previous generation sage, judging by the year there. Very close to this time. Probably this guy is reaching the end of his life, and then once he once his life ends, then the next generation sage, comes into being. I'm sure there's some overlap. I mean, it just comes down to genes, right? To DNA, and that the memories and essence of the precursor human that defines these sage people is passed down through that DNA. That's the whole point of these sages. It's actually a very new concept to Assassin's Creed. We never really had something quite like that in the series. Okay. Let me just get out of here. I don't think there's anything left to explore. Yep, it's just that viewpoint. All that's left. Oh, they're following me a long way. Holy crap. Okay, come on, Kenway. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Out of the range, please. Get out of the range. There we go. All he had to do was turn that corner. That's all. That's all he had to do. Okay. Yeah, I just want to do this viewpoint. I don't want to do anything else. Getting bogged down in this combat here. Alright, so this is the final area. That's probably why I missed the viewpoint. I was busy with the story. The story was calling, and then I don't want to deal with all this. Okay, so gotta be up here somewhere. Alright, fine, I'll deal with more combat. Gotta be getting very close to it. This area is much more linear and narrow than the other ones, so I have to kind of sneak my way through the whole thing before I can get anywhere. So I guess makes it all the more important that I should have done this, you know, to begin with. Should have taken care of this stuff in the first place. Oh, this guy didn't see me at all, compared to the other ones who were just like omniscient. Alright. So I should be able to climb here, yeah, through these crevices, and that'll be the very last. I think this is the very last viewpoint in the entire game. Very symbolic. Symbolic of my concluding moments here. Very last viewpoint. Gotta take it all in. Long Bay is completed. So, is there a quick way back, or do I have to go all the way back? Don't think there's a quick way back. Alright, actually, I could, yeah, I can fast travel between viewpoints, so, in theory, yeah. In that case, I think I'm gonna fast travel there. There's no more reason for me to... Should be able to fast travel, right? I haven't really used this outside of the ships, so... Yeah, of course, we've been able to fast travel without ships throughout Assassin's Creed in the past, so why not? Yeah, the fast travel worked exactly like that. Any viewpoint you've already found, you can just fast travel to that sync point. I guess that comes down to the way, like, their justification or the way their game, you know, Assassin's Creed as a game works, and as it's contextualized within the Animus, that is rendering this ancestor's memories through his his genetic memory. It is rendering his life as he lived it, but you have to start at a stable point, right? You can't just skip to the end because it is unstable. That is like their justification for how they have to go through the character's life, and before they can reach that climactic moment, that key information that they're looking for. So, yeah, Assassin's Creed is contextualizing it through the Animus, which is saying that, oh, the memories you want are unstable. You have to go to a stable memory earlier in the character's life, which could be many years before the memory that you want, or as many as just like a few weeks or months, which is probably the case in Kenway, for Kenway here. Just get to it in just a few. Wonder what that is. Oh, a 10,000 ship. Interesting. Alright, not important to me though. So, do I want to just sail here or just fast travel here? I guess it's just sailing gives me another opportunity to just continue talking, and there's no point in fast traveling. It is not the same as a side objective like the legendary ships that I want you to just get done for the final moments of the game. So I'll continue sailing there and also continue discussing the game. So, yeah, back to the Animus point. The Animus is like the game's clever way of justification, or in-world justification, or To use the more fancy term, the critical term, diegetic justification, or contextual also works very well too. It is a way of explaining something, or a way of conveying something within the world, or using the world's, details, characters, anything that exists in the world to convey something. So in this case, we're talking about the Animus. The Animus is that reason for going through this whole character's story, and I guess it's essentially the game's excuse for being able to tell a story, rather than just the the people using the Animus to just skip over to the memories that they want, the information that they want to get from those ancestors that we've seen in previous, all the Assassin's Creed games up until this point. So, yeah, with that in mind, that's, I guess, related to going back to the fast travel and the sync points. Once you've made that connection to the sync point, those memories then become stable, right? And I guess that's why the Animus is then able to skip over to that location in the game that you've already experienced. That becomes a stable location or a stable memory. So even something like the fast travel system, I haven't really thought about this that much, but even something like the fast travel system is contextualized in the game as being rendered by the Animus, and that's why you're able to skip over. You don't have to manually experience a journey if you don't want to. However, it's also that reason why you do have to manually experience that whole story arc. So in terms of the game, in terms of the actual world here, this, Abstergo worker is trying to find out the key details that Abstergo is looking for, and I guess they want to find out about the observatory in particular. And so he has to go through this character, Edward Kenway's life leading up to that moment, a few months up until that point, where they learn about the observatory and where it is, where its final resting place is, so that they might recover it in the present day. I think that's their ultimate goal, is to recover that artifact in the present day. So, to the Abstergo person in the Animus, it's essentially work for them, but as far as the game experience, it is a story. It is a narrative. It is an entire experience full of activities to play and have fun, be entertained, experience all these side missions. So it serves that dual purpose. That's I guess the brilliant construction of the Animus, going all the way back to the first Assassin's Creed. How well it actually justifies the storytelling using in-world terms. Alright, so I feel like this is probably going to be the last few, if not the last mission in the game. But I hope that I can get to the Mayan delay first, finish that part, and before I go to the final mission. So I'm thinking probably going to be able to. It didn't say, do the mission right now. Say go to Tulum. So here we have all of the assassin recruits here. This is the assassin stronghold. So it should be on my map, I think. Yeah, the Mines delay thing is over here. I'll go there first, right? And see what that is all about. There's my mission. I'll do that next. Another brilliant thing about the Animus is that it also provides an in-game motivation and justification for how events can also be done out of order, or unlocked out of order. Because, you know, sometimes you can do certain missions and certain memories in the character's life out of sequence, essentially. Or not in perfect chronological order, so that allows for some non-linear sort of storytelling, where you're experiencing certain events out of order for the purpose of narrative, rather than, you know, for effective narrative and storytelling. So, you know, by withholding information or telling you information out of order, you can achieve certain effects. I mean, all you know, not all, but most stories, most narratives do this using a, you know, all right, so let's get with the Mayan stele here. See what that is all about. Okay, so much like the Templar Hunt missions, right? That unlocked the outfit that I currently have. This culminates in another outfit, another wardrobe change. So let's try that. Mayan outfit. Gained by completing the Mayan stele activity. According to legend, this Mayan outfit was created using scavenged First Civilization materials and has the ability to deflect metal projectiles. Okay, so Assassin's Creed had something similar to this, where there was an outfit in there that also was something like this, that also, you know, deflected metal projectiles, like gunshots, for instance. Sometimes it has the ability to deflect those bullets, so you'd be safe, shielded, essentially. Not 100% of the time. I wonder if the outfit actually looks good. I don't have a lot of light here, but it looks pretty cool. I could do for a wardrobe change anyway for my character. Let's go into a more well-lit area, I suppose. Yeah, right. It's made from First Civilization, which I guess what they call it. The precursor humans, the predecessors. Yeah, I guess it does look like highly technological thing from that first civilization. They had greater technology than even, you know, present day humans, and yet they fell due to a cataclysm. So yeah, this this does look very nice and futuristic. Very cool looking. And it's a shame that you essentially have to get this at the towards the end of the game, so you really can't experience much of the game using this outfit. I mean, I don't see how else you can do the Mayan steles earlier than this, because I think you can only go to Long Bay when you do that observatory mission. I mean, I could be wrong about that. So if you're able to access Long Bay and get that final Mayan stele before that mission, then I suppose it is possible to get this outfit earlier in the game. But that's a strange thing about later game upgrades like this outfit, is that their usefulness is only their usefulness comes down to the last few missions of the game where you can actually use it. So I'm not sure what else to do. I mean, I'm so close to the end here, so I'm not really going to be able to enjoy the benefits of this outfit. Whereas actually in Assassin's Creed, we were able to get that special outfit fairly early. Well, a little later than halfway through, so there was a significant amount of the game where you could effectively use that outfit. But who knows? There could be more to the game still. Anyway, we can end the game looking really badass and cool in First Civilization derived attire. Okay, everything is permitted. I'm betting that probably going to be last mission. I'm not sure. We'll see.
Jesus, Addy, what the hell happened here? You happened here, Edward. The damage you caused 6 years ago has not been undone.
I'm not an easy man to call a friend, am I? Is that why you're here?
To fight beside a man so driven by personal gain and glory is a hard thing, Edward. And I have come to feel the assassins and their creed a more honorable cause. Have I been unfair?
No. For years I've been rushing around taking whatever I fancied, not giving a tinker's curse for those I hurt. And yet here I am, with riches and a reputation, feeling no wiser than when I left home. Yet when I turn around, look at the course I've run. There's not a man or woman that I love left standing beside me.
There is time to make amends, Captain Kenway.
Mary. Before she died, she asked me to do good by her, to sort out the mess I made. Can you help me?
Mary was fond of you, Edward. She saw something in your bearing that gave her hope you might one day fight for us.
Aye. She told me.
And what did you think of our fate?
It's hard to say. For if nothing is true, then why believe anything? And if everything is permitted, why not chase every desire?
Why, indeed.
It might be that this idea is only the beginning of wisdom, not its final form.
That's quite a step up from the Edward I met here many years ago.
Okay, so that reveals that the story has taken place over the course of at least a few years. It's actually hard to tell based on the story moments we've seen.
The second attack this month, I should have moved this village long ago.
I brought all this upon you years ago, but I will stand by you now.
It will take more than a few favors to call yourself a true assassin, Edward.
One thing at a time, mate.
Also, that's a funny little dissonance there. You saw him trying to pull over his hood, but his current outfit doesn't have a hood, so that animation ended up not pulling up a hood. I wonder if maybe this outfit should have been redesigned to at least include a hood, so it would have worked with that animation. That's a little oversight on the part that ends up being a little funny, but I guess this is not that important. Because maybe I should. I mean, if I had done this, if I had completed the Mind's Delay thing after this mission, after activating this mission, then at that point I would have. He probably would have done the hood thing correctly. So it's a minor thing, but still, it's also a nitpick, I suppose. Alright, so we actually get the rope dart now, which is one of the new weapons we saw in Assassin's Creed 3. And again, it's another fairly late game introduction of a weapon here. So I wonder how much actual use we're going to get out of this rope dart. Probably for these last mission or two, however many left are in the game, we're going to be able to use it, but it seems like almost pointless to give it to us now instead of way earlier before. Then at least we would have been able to have it in our repertoire to use it at any point, but okay. Let's go ahead and use it. Aim at an enemy and press Y to drag them towards you, right? I remember this from Assassin's Creed 3. Use the rope dart to hang guards, use the rope dart to pull guards. Okay. Head on over there. Hopefully I'm able to make this work, make this happen. It's like a pretty good climactic battle. Alright, so...
No te dejaremos escapar. Listo para abrir fuego. Te tengo encañonado.
How am I gonna get to use this? Alright, use rope dart to pull guards. I guess that worked. Well, I hope I'll have more opportunities than that to use it.
So many dead. So many injured.
Let's see. I probably will need to craft more rope darts to complete this quest. Can't loot these bodies. I'm not sure if I'm using the pull correctly. I'm supposed to be able to pull him down. Let's see. Is there any where I can actually use the hanging maneuver? I'm trying to look for a good location for that. I'm not finding anything. Maybe here? Where can I find it? Come on. No place to use it. Maybe here? There we go. That works. That was the, that was one of them. See if there's another place I can use it. So hard to find a place where I can actually... Alright. Find this tree, Kenway. Need to use it. Oh, it didn't work. Alright, how about this guy? Alright, come on, Kenway. How about... I'm trying to do it, but I don't know why it's not working. Oh, maybe, actually, I just need to do that and then drop. No? Not it? Why is it not working? There we go. That's the last one. So I just have to finish up the main part of the quest now. So you have to make good use of that rope dart. It's pretty darn cool. See if I can do a rope dart kill. I have to kill the captain as well. Alright, I killed all of... or as many of the other guys as I needed. I can actually head towards the captain now if I want to. So did the quest, right? Secondary. Yeah, that's taken care of. I did the kills kind of awkwardly, but that's fine because I'm still trying to learn how to do it properly. Oh man, I thought it was far enough away. Okay, Captain is down. Did those objectives, used the rope dart pretty well. As far as this memory goes, I'm gonna say this is a solid 4-like. Fairly straightforward. Get a new weapon, and it's one of the better weapons that were introduced, or I guess probably the best weapon introduced in Assassin's Creed 3. I guess it's kind of just a gimme at the end, like, oh, here's a nice little throwback to 3. I guess it's not really, it doesn't qualify as a throwback because it's just the previous game in the series, but makes sense that the next game in the series you should have access to that weapon, right? I guess it's just a matter of kind of contextualizing why Kenway would have access to that rope dart weapon in the first place, or how it would get something like that. Because the rope dart was a weapon used by the Native Americans as part of Connor's, tribe, that was part of his arsenal there, and I guess the game was trying to make it so that it was his unique weapon because of his heritage, his culture. So there needs to be a reason why Kenway would have access to that weapon. I guess the assassins here are also highly associated with the native tribes of the Americas here, I guess we're near Central America and North America, Florida, and all that. So I guess there's some sort of tangential justification for why they would have a rope dart as well. Alright, so yeah, let's continue.
And once more you have our thanks, Edward. You are welcome here.
Thank you, sir. I'll rest here for a time before setting up, if I may. How's her child?
She is a strong woman, but not invincible.
Edward.
I'm sorry for your loss.
If I'd stayed in prison, they'd have taken him from me. He'd never be alive. Maybe this is God's way of saying I'm not fit to be a mother yet. Carrying on like I do. Cursing, drinking, and fighting.
You are a fighter, aye. In prison, I heard stories of the infamous Bonny and Mary Reed taking on the King's Navy together. Just the pair of you.
It's all true. Anne would have won that day if Jack and his lads were passed out in the hold from drink. Edward. Everyone's gone, aren't they? Mary, Bracken, Touch, all the rest. I miss them so. Rough as they were. Do you feel that too? All empty inside?
I do. Devil curse me.
Alright, should have a few comments about that scene, but depending on what happens right here, I have time to discuss that, but definitely keep that in mind. Particularly with Bonny's character here. I mean, the game is treating her like we know who she is, and like it has developed her character throughout the game, and that's not really true. So it's kind of weird for them to have a scene like that here.
How will I find him?
We have spies and informants in every city. Visit our bureaus and the assassins there will guide you.
That fixes Torres and Rogers. Bartholomew Roberts will be near any city. Might take months to find him.
For years. But you're a man of talent and quality, Captain Kenway. I believe you will find him.
And if you're at a loss, Don't be afraid to call on your quartermaster for aid.
Quartermaster! What's our present course?
Due west, Captain, if it's still Kingston we're sailing for.
It is indeed, Miss Bonny. Call it out.
Weigh anchor and let fall the courses, lads! We're sailing for Jamaica!
Alright, so
How does it feel to bark so
yeah,
loud?
interesting
And
going
barks louder,
on here.
and to men twice as rough.
Tending bar at the old Avery, you mean?
Among other places. And I sailed with Mary and Rackham for a time, remember?
Of course.
Mary did most of the captaining, Jack did most of the drinking.
Did Mary? Did she ever tell you who it was that fathered her child?
It was a young fella. Sailed with us on that last voyage. Poor lad was killed fighting beside us. The only man not too drunk to stand up for himself.
There was so much about her I didn't know. I called her a friend. But was I one in return?
She had the word of her. No worries about it.
Well, that's good to hear.
Okay, so Anne Bonny here. Fairly late introduction to the story for this character, and with her recent role in the past few scenes, feels like the experience is trying to treat her as having been important this whole time. Now, she's been important to Mary Read for sure, Mary Read has been an important character for the story. It's been fairly, decently established. I wouldn't say well established, because even her character is underutilized or underdeveloped in the overall story so far. But with Anne Bonny here, I think it's resting so much on just her reputation and like the historical context of her character. Oh, we're just supposed to know who Anne Bonny is at this point. Oh, she's that famous historical pirate, so she needs no introduction. But I don't know, I think that's just kind of a bit lazy as far as the narrative goes. I think she could have used a little bit more introduction lead up to this point than what was offered here. The first time we saw her was in that observatory scene, which again is fairly late in the game. How far am I sailing here? It's gonna be super long. Okay, so I'm just going to Kingston. Gotcha. Okay, that's not that far. That'll allow me to discuss a little bit. It's funny how we got to, we started in Tulum and now we're already like outside where we need to be. Alright, so that was not the final mission, of course. That was but I think we are leading up to final bits of the story here. I guess one of my problems is I am really bad at telling when the exact moment of the end of the experience is going to happen, but I know I can feel it's coming, like it's building up to that. Right, so I guess what the storytelling is trying to do here is that those past few scenes has served as her introduction, even if it's a late game, a late introduction into the story. She is now a major player. So while it was weird that she wasn't introduced earlier on and built up to now, I guess a late game introduction is some sort of introduction. So hopefully that means she'll be a more of a major player in the story. She'll have agency, and we'll learn to care about her character. But again, it's only been a few times we've seen her, so like those scenes, the way they're constructed, are trying to make us like feel some sympathy for her character, but we've only seen her a couple times, so it hasn't the story hasn't really earned that sympathy yet from us. Again, it needs more building up. So that's that scene between her and Kenway, reflecting on Mary's death, trying to be all emotional. Again, that falls flat just because like we really need to. The game hasn't done a good job of developing those characters up until this point. Up until that very scene. So I don't know. It's just maybe from here on out, it can develop her character, and it'll be a little bit better for future moments like that. But as far as that particular scene between Kenway and Bonny, for the most part, my thought was, well, who the heck is Anne Bonny? Why do we care about her? We've only seen her a couple times. Like, I barely know who she is, and yet I'm supposed to, like, I feel like the game experience is expecting me to be like, oh man, feeling sympathetic and in tune with the character, feeling for the the choices made and the events of the narrative that happened. So then what I'm really thinking is, who is this person? why is she here talking to Kenway now? It's like we barely know anything. It's just been very rushed to this point, her introduction. I don't know, so storytelling definitely weird and awkward at times. Let's see how things progress further. Oh right, no more explorations. There's just gonna be missions and missions and missions from here on out.
Whereabouts of the Templar Woods, Rogers. He is attending a small political function, so do it clean.
The word is King George is calling Rogers back to London.
Aye, not happy with his progress in Nassau.
Still too many pirates roaming about, from what I hear.
You'll need a disguise to fool the powderheads at this party. I suggest the visiting diplomat, Ruggiero Ferraro. He's been on our list for some time.
Understood. Will you send this to England for me?
Aye, the ship leaves tomorrow.
Caroline Scott Kenway, Hawkins Lane, Bristol.
Another hood animation mismatch moment. Maybe this outfit should have had a hood, just for, you know, because a lot of animations in the game have him. You know, a lot of animations in those cutscenes have have Kenway with him pulling his hood up. So it makes very little sense to make any outfits without a hood. Like, that problem obviously arises. So another interesting observation that I've made is, I believe what happened with Kenway and that assassin leader in the previous scene was that, there he is, was that I think it was at that point where Alright, I want him to just drop down here, dude. Drop down. Where the Templar Hunt missions are a requirement, right? So he said, you know, go find our associates, right? I believe he was referring to those Templar Hunt missions. So it's like, at that point, if you hadn't done them, I'm pretty sure the game would have required you to finish those up before proceeding further. Alright, so I gotta find a haystack somewhere, right?
You walk your streets like animals, like cattle with no sense of decorum.
Alright, so where are haystacks? Where are they? Are there any around here? If I could, I would try and
You are all idiots.
get ahead of him.
English. You rule the world beyond me.
Still don't see any haystacks around. So the story of this guy is that he is it's an Italian diplomat, right? Commenting on this English kingdom here.
Ah, praise God for imported wine.
Okay, there's a haystack. Gotta be careful here. Gotta.
Rough more than once a month.
Alright, how about I actually fall into the haystack like I wanted to, and not fall onto the fence like I did not want to. And I guess that points back to the awkward controls here. Like I feel like
I am ready. We go.
Kenway sometimes just doesn't listen to what I want him to do.
Ahoy! Be welcome, sir.
Okay. Tail him. Now this tailing mission I feel a little bit better about because I have not seen one in quite a while.
There is no beauty to this city. No expression of joy. No aesthetic plan. You walk your streets like
Also I feel like it is a little bit more straightforward in what it requires you to do. Tailing, going from hiding spot to hiding spot. This is one I do like the tailing missions when it's not overused and I can make use of my environment. You get ahead of my target or follow my target very, very well here.
for all Indians. How you Indians believe you can subdue the world is beyond me.
Okay. Still out of sight. Pretty good.
Praise God for imported wine.
Alright, I'm gonna try again. And Kenway, I really want you to fall into the haystack. The haystack, not this other thing. Oh my god. The haystack, Kenway. The haystack. Jeez.
Bastard! Now I am lost. A preposterous deceit. All straight lines and rigid blocks and still no sense of order. Oh, so I missed the order.
I don't know why his animation or his movement would automatically put him
Damn, sweltering heat. Another quote.
Alright, come on, haystack, Kenway, haystack! Onto a fence. I don't want him on a fence, I want him on a haystack. Okay, so... is he just not gonna move at this point? I just have to literally restart because Kenway would not jump into the haystack like I want him to. Yep, I guess so. There's only one haystack, and you have to you have to get there. You know, wrangle with the controls to make sure Kenway falls into the haystack. I suppose the way to do it is to get to the haystack before he gets there. Which means I should go a roundabout way.
There is no beauty to this city. No expression of joy. No aesthetic plan. You walk your streets
So he'll come this way, right?
like cattle with no sense of decorum.
Indeed. So I can wait for him here. No, not up. I did not want him to go up. Again, another example of weird controls. I just wanted to move away, and instead he runs up like this. Not what I want him to do. It's absolutely not what I want him to do. I guess that's one way of doing it. Yeah, so you have to be on this haystack.
Ah, praise God for imported
I think that's the only opportunity where you can do the side quest. Okay, so kill the diplomat from the haystack. That's exactly what I did. So how am I supposed to do that again? Kill the diplomat from a haystack. Well, that's very curious. I mean, I guess what's happening is the objectives are at odds with each other, so it's like the design of this particular tailing mission. At first I appreciated it, but now it's like very confusing. And they probably should have redone this entire sequence because of how confusing it is. Do you want me to tail him, or do you want me to kill him? What do you want me to do? Why is this designed so that it's so confusing? Just another passerby here.
You are all idiots. How do ink and you to rule the world beyond me?
Okay. So I'll figure this out.
Praise God for his work in life.
Okay, so I have to wait till it says kill, right? Then I can kill him. Okay. So I guess I just waited a second too early, or I did not wait long enough for the game to actually give me that kill. So 1 second is the difference between game over and and mission complete, which is really poor design, I think, or I don't know. It's weird. Get another reason to hate those tailing missions and for them to be gone from the series entirely. You know, at first I defended the tailing missions. Like, up until now, I feel like the series has used those tailing missions fairly well and hasn't relied on them too much. I could be wrong about that. Maybe I'm remembering it improperly. However, this game has convinced me to hate the tailing missions and to be along with everybody else in hating the tailing missions. And it's, I guess, the over-reliance on it as a storytelling technique and a mission type. And overall, they are sometimes not designed well, like we're seeing here. There should be no reason why I am failing the mission just because I killed him 1 second too early, even though it's the exact same outcome.
A toast to my brief tenure as governor of the Bahamas. No less than 300 of our pirates took the king's pardon and swore fealty to the crown. And yet, for all my successes, His Majesty has seen fit to sack me.
I gotta make sure I blend as much as possible here.
Brilliant! God bless the fucker! Therefore, hooray! Hooray for the ignoble and ignorant prigs who rule the world with sticks up their asses! Hooray!
Okay, can I reach this blend point? I want to reach the blend point. There we go.
Smart-looking outfit, but it can't be comfortable in this heat. See.
Is there another optional objective before I kill this guy? Kill Rogers from a bench. Okay. That is very particular, and I'm glad I checked.
Mrs. Rogers these days.
Oh, wait.
I haven't the faintest idea
Get back to
how much
the
we require any
blending.
further. We separated almost
Kill Rogers
5
from a
years
bench.
ago.
Gotta find a
All our
bench.
lives have been the better for it.
Forgive my curiosity, Governor.
Perhaps I'll be more candid later, when the remainder of my reason has left.
Okay. Oh, there was a bench over here. Crap. Did I miss out the opportunity? Are there any other benches around?
What started out as a lesson in combat. Thank you for hosting my little send-offs.
See, are there any other benches that he might go to?
A little free with your speech today, but nothing to be hanged for.
Well then, how's this?
I feel like that is the only bench in this entire area, and that's why I have to actually just wait there. So, figure out the optional objective, find out where the damn bench is, and then go straight for the bench. That's the procedure, I guess, of tackling this mission and the optional objective too.
It is, I am proud to say. Torres was a governor too, and like me, had a firm commitment to seeing justice done.
Okay, let's blend with these guys here, wait for them to pass. Between two civilians and blend, yes, I'm already doing that. Like, I got that part. So, objective is here. There's only one bench in the area, so put those two things together. And there's only one area. I have to assume based on the level design that his character, his animation routine here, he will eventually pass by this bench. So, a lot of assumptions to make, a lot of risks to take, but I guess it's all about reading the environment. Now what? Okay, that was the assassination.
Privateer once. How is it you lack so much respect for sailors only trying to make their way in this world?
You couldn't possibly understand my motives, cretin! You have spent a whole lifetime dismantling everything that makes our civilization shine.
But I do understand. I've seen the observatory, and I know its power. You'd use that device to spy and blackmail and sabotage.
Yes. And yet all for a greater purpose. To ensure justice. To snuff out lies and to seek truth.
There's no man on Earth who needs that power.
Yet you suffer the outlaw Roberts to use it.
No. I'm taking it back. And if you tell me where he is, I'll stop the man.
Here at the edge of a blade, I find a friend in you at last. Principe, you mad bastard. Our best sources say Principe.
Escape the area. I wonder if I can just blend my way through. Okay, so escaping, I guess, is another important part to an assassination. Wouldn't be so easy if you could just do the assassination and skip to the next story moment, so I guess that's an important part of the experience, is making sure you can get away with your deed. So I gotta find a proper place to make my escape.
You there!
Okay, they're still able to see through. Okay, let's get on going. Okay. So Woods Rogers, I guess for the amount, for like the amount of investment that we have seen in this mission, it's a fairly small and relatively uninvolved mission, right? Very quick and succinct. However, I would say that Woods Rogers here was the best motivated assassination target in the whole game so far, except maybe the tragic Charles Vane. We had very good reason to take him down too. But as far as all the other characters, they've been largely like names that we've barely been acquainted to, and there's only a small amount of lead up to that assassination. Here with Woods Rogers, all the way back when he took over NASA, we've had sufficient motivation to take him down. And so it's a slight mismatch in the importance of that mission and the motivation behind it with the actual gravity of the mission itself. The mission seems to be so like short and brief that I feel it does not match up with the importance of taking down Woods Rogers himself, who was one of the major antagonists established earlier on. So again, it's the storytelling and the match to the game experience is a little awkward once again, where I feel like the mission should have been more involved and had a little bit more gravity.
Where now?
Grab your kit
Dealing with the assassination of Woods Rogers. We didn't know, unacquainted with this assassin here, the assassin representative that we're working with in Kingston. He was one of the people that we helped out in the Templar Hunt missions way back. I think that's why Kenway and the assassin leader had that talk about him wanting you to help out these assassins, because like you got to make sure you take care of each one of their problems, the 4 problems, before working with them for another mission. So I feel like maybe I should have saved the Templar Hunt missions until later, but I wouldn't see why I would do that, considering that all the locations for the Templar Hunt missions have been on the way, so to speak, as we've been going through the missions throughout the map, throughout the world here. They've been conveniently on the way, so I feel like the game did itself a disservice by making them appear available and available to complete so early on in the experience, because now when we're going to actually working with the characters involved, it's going to be so far between that I barely remember these characters. So it's like it makes a lot more sense if we would be doing them closer to when they're important to the main storyline. But I guess that's just one upside of the nonlinear mission and storytelling that is hand in hand with the downside. The upside is you can choose to tackle those missions and those story moments at your own pace and deal with them when you want to deal with them, which is great. On the other hand, when those missions, matter to other important points in the story involving those same characters, it might be inconvenient in terms of the storytelling. So I guess it just comes down to the developers of the game and the storytellers involved when they make those missions available, and when those characters, become important to the story again. Probably could use a little bit of readjustment there, rewriting. So it's not the player's fault for sure. It's not my fault for dealing with those missions earlier. It's perhaps the game itself. The game itself is at fault, and the developers of the game are at fault for letting that mismatch happen. Maybe either these characters could have appeared earlier on in the story, or throughout the experience, or maybe those missions, those Templar Hunt missions, could have been only available more recently in the overall experience, which would make a lot more sense. So let's rate this. I'm gonna say another like it could have been 5 stars, but I feel like, as I said before, this mission deserved a little bit more oomph. It deserved a little bit more gravitas to it, especially with the importance of the assassination target. One of probably the most important assassination target in the entire game so far, or one of them. But the mission itself seemed like it was a brief affair, like almost an afterthought, which was, I don't know, strange. It also required a lot of strange optional objectives that were very super specific and are inherently at odds with letting you play as, you know, in your own style. You have to try and, you know, work out the puzzle very quickly. And I guess from a puzzle standpoint it is okay, but as you saw, like in both cases where I had to kill the diplomat from a haystack, kill Rogers from a bench, it was awkward to make that happen. So yeah, I don't know. I seem a lot down on these missions lately, but you know, I'm being critical and pointing out things that maybe could have been a little bit better. And although the missions themselves are fairly decent, you know, I'm not doing my job if I'm not also pointing out, you know, both the positives and the negatives at the same time. I'm not going to just be enthusiastically proclaiming the successes of the game at all ends. Like I have to occasionally point to where things don't work. Alright, so said Principe. Okay, so over here. In this case, I think I want to fast travel because there is nothing left for me to do in the overworld here, so I think I'm just going to fast travel here, or maybe to the fort. The fort is probably the safest place to fast travel. Yeah, we're on a sprint to the end here, so I'll go ahead and fast travel. Another thing I might want to comment on is I'm continually surprised at how many more missions that there are in this final portion of the game. I mean, in general, what I've come to expect from Assassin's Creed is that the storyline in the path of the main missions are tied mostly with your exploration of the overworld, right? So I was expecting that once I explored every single sector, every single quarter of that map, and completed them, that I would also be near the end. But it seems like, no, it's still taking me through more missions, even though I've explored everything here so far. So it is, at the very least, I can say that it is being unexpected. It is being surprising in the fact that the story is continuing to go on, and you know, despite the fact that it has taken us through every single portion of the map, and I've already had an opportunity to explore everything and do pretty much everything in the game. So I don't know, maybe on the one hand the surprise is interesting. It's doing the unexpected, where you know, it's continuing to go on much longer than I previously thought. However, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for it to do this. Like, it feels like it's being inefficient in its use of the overworld, because essentially what the experience comes down to is developers create the overworld first, right? And then they populate it with interesting things to do and interesting stories to tell. So I feel like there's a reason why the story and the main critical path of missions is tied to your completion and exploration of the overworld itself. Because they are essentially the reason to continue exploring that overworld, that salient overworld that they've created. And it has already done that. It's done its job, and it's continuing to go on further. So it's like, you're already done, dude. You don't need to continue on anymore. I wonder why the story's still going. I don't know. Maybe it's just my playstyle in that I was a little overzealous at exploring the world and making sure I complete the exploration before I finish the end of the game. Maybe I could have been a little bit more lax on that and did, save some more exploration for the end. And this would have been a perfect time to continue exploring and doing that stuff too. So I don't know. Maybe it is just my playstyle. I was working a little too hard on that exploration and not letting the game allow me to explore at a more reasonable pace. But, that's my playstyle, and if the game doesn't accommodate my playstyle, then it's not really my fault. I mean, I don't know when the end is going to come, so I have to trust in the game to
Here's one still kicking.
craft a story that makes sense in terms of
The Royal
its place in the world. I don't know.
Roberts offered no quarter, didn't say nothing.
Okay, with that in mind, I wonder, there is no telling how much more of the game I have left. There could still be many more missions. It's taking me by surprise just how many more missions there are. Kill guards by destroying powder barrels. 8. That's gonna be tricky, I think. But I suppose there are gonna be tons of powder barrels anyway, so probably gonna be okay. So I guess Bartholomew Roberts, who was the sage, inevitably betrayed me. I guess it makes sense for him to be the final assassin target, not Rogers. So I'm hoping this mission will have a lot more oomph, more gravitas, more in terms of a lead up and a large level to make your assassination move, I suppose. Okay, so there's some barrels here. Guess I just want to shoot these barrels. 2. Maybe that was a little hasty. Gotta find more barrels now. So how about can I shoot this barrel here? There we go. How many did I get there? That's a lot. Alright, I gotta find another barrel because there's still one more left. One more I gotta do here. Any more barrels around? I just gotta run around until I find some barrels. Suppose. Aha! There we go. There's a barrel. No, not the. I want this. Alright, can I... Please... I wanna... Oh, I have to reload! Crap. Alright, I gotta get out of here now.
You're not for losing them that way, you dog!
Get out of those bushes, man!
I shoot the bastard! I've got the clear shot!
Okay, can I use the human shield, please? Oh my goodness. Okay, almost got my way through here. Probably just finish out these last two dudes.
The birds can have you!
Okay. So definitely a little sloppier than I'm used to. However, I think the optional objective required me to be a little bit sloppy there. So had no choice but to be sloppy and use those. Can I just climb this? I think. Not sure. I think I'm able to climb this. I have to get to those branches, maybe? There has to be a way up this thing. Oh yeah, there it is. Use the branches. Okay. So there are more dudes here. Second part of this. That's not gonna work. Because I'm going right.
Why? Who chases me now, eh? Is it a spectre come to spook me?
Okay, there are actually more opportunities to
Of a man I sent to
use those barrels once again. Anyway, if I'm using fire barrels, then it's going to be loud no matter what, so I don't think there's a real stealthy way to use those barrels. The loud way, and that's the only way. Alright. I'm almost here where I need to be, so not quite yet. I think it makes a little bit more sense to me to get the loud stuff out of the way, you know, farther away from my actual targets, so I don't raise too many alarms. This was an area that we saw earlier on in the experience. It's actually where we first saw the sage, where he was apparently imprisoned, although maybe there was a little bit more to that than we thought. Try to go the high road. Take the wheel of the jackdaw. Now, yeah, I can jump off. So this was not totally an assassination mission. This is like a kind of a red herring. It leads directly into a naval chase there. A little environmental clipping there as well, but no matter.
The way is blocked, Captain. We'll have to find another path.
Oh wow. So am I supposed to just turn around and go around this way? I think so. Okay. Should be back on track soon.
Steer clear of that, Captain.
Escaping in his own ship. Right, so that was a nice little surprise there, a little reversal. Thought we were gonna do a normal assassination, but then he immediately runs away. Whoa, come on. I am turning so hard to the left here. Somehow, ship still. Ship still veers to the right. Okay, it's become an exciting naval chase. One of the few ships that have actively used the fire barrels against me during my chase. Okay, so let's have to board one ship here. Don't want to mess with these other dudes. Okay, let me get to that boarding.
There's a device with him that needs taking. I'll have to board her myself.
Man the guns! There's more fodder for you coming!
Yeah, there we go. Board it. Use the rope dart to kill Roberts. Alright. I guess I don't really have to use this right now. Thin off some of the guards nearby. Make sure I have the rope dart selected. I only have 2.
How can I not be impressed by the attention you paid me? May the best of we two sing praises of the second.
Alright, so can I actually get up top here? Or not? I would like to get up top and then try to use the rope dart from up above. Whoa, what in the world is Kenway doing? There was a rope thing right there. The animation should have him pop right to that rope thing. So yeah, that beam. That is like the most egregious example of how bad the platforming is in this game that I've seen so far. That is amazingly terrible. Yeah, Kenway's animation should just automatically pop to that rope, right? Anything else doesn't make sense. Alright, I'll try getting to it from here, but yeah, I'm not imagining things. That is just egregious, heinous, amazingly bad. That yeah, Kenway doesn't just climb to that rope. like he should. Alright, he's over there now. Okay. How do I use the rope dart if he's there? Okay, well. Is there a faster way down now? Yeah, there is, right here. Alright, I can still use the rope dart then from here. No other... Alright, there's way too many dudes around. Oh, now I'm all out of rope darts too. What the heck? Just use that last rope dart on him. Okay, so can I still craft? Man, these optional objectives are just... have been getting more and more unreasonable. Crafting is unavailable at this time. What? You can't just block me from that. No way. Okay, well, I guess the fastest way of doing this is to just okay, I still have 2 rope darts now, right? One? Are you serious? What happened to my second one? Crafting is unavailable this time. Alright, well, I guess I have 1. Gotta make this one count.
How can I not be impressed by the attention you pay me? May the best of we two sing praises of the second!
Of course he locked onto the wrong person yet again. Great. Thanks, Kenway. It's making an otherwise great assassin mission super awkward. These optional objectives being really dumb. Why is crafting unavailable now? Oh man, I should be able to craft at any point.
How can I not be impressed by the attention you pay me? May the best of we two sing praises of the second!
Okay. Try this again. I just want to come up here, please. Yep, yeah, another otherwise good mission, otherwise interesting mission ruined by cheap and nearly impossible optional objective. Did he just use it? Oh my goodness. Kenway. I should have, by the way, I should have full 5 before doing this mission. I don't know why the game is just making it harder for me to do the optional objective. By not giving me the 5th, by not giving me all 5 rope darts from the start. I don't know why they're doing this. They're just making it worse on themselves. I mean, by the developers of the game, just making it worse on themselves.
How can I not be impressed by the attention you pay me? May the best of we two sing praises of the second!
I'm not sure if that's gonna count.
A merry life and a short one.
May have to do it over again because of how dumb that optional objective is. Ruining an otherwise good climactic mission.
Have you
Real
found
shame.
the peace you seek?
I'm not aiming so high as that. For what's peace but a confusion between two wars?
Oh, you're a stoic then. But perhaps I was wrong about you. She might have had some use for you after all.
She? Of whom do you speak?
Oh, she who lies in wait, entombed. I had hoped to find her, to see her again, to open the door of the temple and hear her speak my name once more. Hide.
Talk sense, man.
Oh, I was born too soon. Like so many others before.
Where's the device, Roberts?
Destroy this body, Edward. The Templars. If they take me...
Okay. Yep, that is missed, and for no good reason, because the objective itself is just it is definitely unreasonable. The optional objective there, because the rope dart is not really good for a crowded situation. It is good for a one-on-one encounter, not with a group of guys around you. It's super difficult to target your dude, and on top of that, it's also difficult to pull off the execution. So when you have one guy to take down with a rope dart, it is perfect. That is the tool to use. So let it be known that I think the developers are absolutely insane to make this objective here, even if it's optional. All it does is just make me frustrated in the mission, and I shouldn't be frustrated at this point. I should be enjoying this mission. I should feel like a climactic point. So I'm gonna give it just an okay, where otherwise it could have been a 5-star mission if it didn't make me use the rope dart. And on top of that, if you're gonna make me use the rope dart, give me 5 rope darts in the beginning of the mission, right? Alright, well, unfortunate how that went down. Continue on. No, it's not a good time. We're nearing the end of the game. It's not a good time to start introducing really frustrating aspects and really frustrating objectives. If you want me to leave the game satisfied and like feel like I'm accomplishing great things and seeing satisfying story moments, so only making it worse for himself by the developers and the game itself making it worse by making me do really dumb optional objectives. Can't really say making me do, because by definition they are optional. However, I've been doing the optional objectives, going after them the entire time, and when they are good, it can improve a mission. And I feel like there's no reason to have optional objectives like that unless they do improve the mission, unless they do make it more interesting. Oh, have you considered doing it this way? You might have more fun doing it this way. No, instead, many of the optional objectives in this game have been anti-fun, have been super specific and awkward and frustrating. So, alright, where is this actual mission? It's all the way in Havana. Okay, so first of all, let's craft some more of those rope darts. Come on, come on. Let go. Cannot release in high waves and storms. Okay. Should be able to craft now, right? Oh, I can only craft on land, right? Okay, so how about I'm going to be fast traveling to Havana anyway. There's no way I'm going to be all the way here. Doesn't make sense. I'm considering. I am considering doing that mission over again and trying to get the 100%. Same time, I also feel like, considering how much more of the game there is, like I feel like I should almost save the next part of the game, the last part, for the next stream. Like I vastly underestimated how much of the game there is left. Seems like there are several more hours. Okay, so first things first, let's craft. Now it should be available. You can also do that upgrade as well. Do I need sleep darts? Can't believe I never crafted this. I should have crafted this many parts ago, but I'll definitely craft this one at least. Okay, so could have used this before, but I don't know. I think I'll just go after the health upgrade instead. So close to the end of the game that sleep is not really that useful now. So was there a weapons and tools? Let me double check the rope dart. Wonder if there's going to be a rope dart. Those things are available again. I don't see anything versus the rope darts. Maybe they're here, maybe they're not. Alright, well, I think I actually want to try that mission over again. Do it properly this time. Now that I actually have rope darts. And I am intending to finish the game. Do it now. Oh, you know what? It actually looks like there is a sequence 13. I'm only 50% of the way through sequence 12. Alright, if that's the case, there is way more game than I thought that, you know, left. So I actually think it makes more sense to split it up and apparently do sequence, looks like, yeah, sequence 13, 1 through 12, and it looks like there's one more bar, if you can see right next to this, right after this. So it looks like there is a sequence 13. And if that's the case, then yeah, there is far more story left in here, far more main missions. So I actually feel like it is more prudent to do that next time instead of trying to go after it now in the next episode, and then at that I'll also have time to do concluding thoughts and everything in that episode. Like I literally thought this was going to be the last sequence, and if it's not even the last sequence, then I'm not. It doesn't make sense for me to keep going now. Might as well save for the next part. Yeah, so that'll definitely be part of my concluding thoughts. How surprisingly long the main mission stuff is. And I think I'll save that for the next episode, but you can probably guess how I feel on it. I've already discussed it earlier in this episode. How it doesn't really make sense for it to keep going with the story. If we've already explored the rest of the world, there's like there is very little reason for it to keep going. And if that's the case, then it should have been perhaps thought out or paced a little bit better as we were exploring. I'll discuss that in the next part, but yeah, this basically goes along with what I've already said. We've already explored the whole entirety of the map. The main missions have already taken us through the entire area. And that should have been perhaps tied more closely with the main mission progress, main sequence progress. So with that, I'll thank you very much for watching. Sorry about getting a little frustrated in that last mission and not getting 100% on stream, but as you can see, unreasonable optional objectives make things difficult for me doing it on stream. And then when I usually just replay the mission off stream and get the 100%. I don't want to just keep, butting my head at it on stream. I'd rather just a nice, distinct playthrough here. And the whole purpose is to bring out my thoughts on the game. So I've already brought out my thoughts on that mission, so I don't really need to. There's really no point in doing it over again on stream, unless it is short enough to do so. It's within reason. I think that one's a little bit too long. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I definitely underestimated how long the main story is, but for sure next part should be the last one. I should be able to do all of sequence 13, which I'm pretty sure is the last sequence, and then the last part. Strange that how this is working and how not even Roberts was the final assassination. So yeah, again, all that stuff I can talk about in the next part. I'm going to catch up to the stream here. You can watch my archives, which are on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/YamsterSam. You can also follow me on Twitter at YamsterSam. And you can also catch me live on Twitch. If you happen to be watching this on YouTube, go over to my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/YamsterSam. And you can follow me there to know when I do this live. Alright, so until the next episode, I will see you later.